Welcome to the wild, where nature thrives in its purest form, undisturbed and untamed. Wildlife tourism promises an unforgettable encounter with nature's wonders. But the reality behind a postcard image can be a different story. When you hear ecotourism or wildlife tourism, what do you expect?
Like fun, adventure.
To see wildlife up close.
More of once-in-a-lifetime adventure.
But why? Wildlife tourism accounts for 7% of worldwide tourism. Promising close-up animal encounters, adventure, fun for the family, and hotel-like experiences, they target the lowest common denominator, even at the cost of nature. When tourists expect only comfort and convenience, they become unprepared for the realities of nature. The insects, the heat, the sweat, the rain. However, to appease the masses, some tour operators resort to quick fixes, prioritizing entertainment and jeopardizing biodiversity in the long run. Wildlife is hard to come by. Yet, this was a promise of the tour. Conditioned by this marketing, the impact on wildlife, the flashing cameras, the constant shouting, the artificial lures, all become second nature. The entire trip becomes just another box to tick on a destination checklist. Been there, done that. But there's another way. Wildlife tourists should expect an authentic experience, an experience far more enriching for themselves and the creatures they encounter. But what exactly is authentic? Or does it mean something that is unique? But this expectation of uniqueness leads to a more sinister tourism problem. Tour providers might create and market experiences they believe meet travelers' expectations. This slippery slope leads to creating superficially authentic performances, specifically curated for the tourist. True authenticity requires a shift in perspective. Instead of expecting nature to revolve around us, we should respect animals' space and behavior. We should not expect forest walks to be comfortable or entertaining, and shift our expectations accordingly by adopting wildlife-friendly practices. Here are some suggested by Micah at EcoMai. Insects can land on our skin for a salty refreshment. Swatting will only cause both parties immense distress. Insects and leeches are to be expected, but they are pretty harmless. Should a leech attach itself, don't pull it off. They naturally clot your blood after their meal, and ripping them off only causes more bleeding. Snakes have most of their body in contact with a given surface. They sense through its vibrations. To minimize disturbance to the snake, or if you want any chance of spotting it, take light steps. They also tend to rest on trees, so don't go around hitting them. Avoid swimming in rivers, especially with sunblock worn.
Most wildlife already know we are there. Yeah, they know we're there, they can smell us, they can sense us, So keeping the voice down is good. Flashing lights a bit. In a big group especially, you need to be a little bit more sensitive about using lights.
Use filtered light and avoid directly shining at animals.
People are already spraying themselves with all the mosquito repellent, right? Wildlife can smell it miles away.
These practices not only increase the likelihood of spotting wildlife, they also prevent damage to the ecosystem.
Because sometimes you know more than the guides. Yeah, and not all guides are very well trained. You do some work, you will already understand how to actually manage yourself around wildlife. To get the best experience, you need to do some background work. You need to study a little bit. Yeah.
Guides who cater to mass tourists may not be the most accurate source of information when it comes to wildlife-friendly practices. If you seek a guide, insist on certified local guides or those on reputable lists. By setting realistic expectations and prioritizing authenticity, wildlife tourism enriches both the visitor and the environment. Researching past greenwashing and mass marketing, perhaps we learn the greatest lesson of all. It isn't about you, but doesn't that make it beautiful?